What's up with it, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Raider Honcho, and I'm back with a brand new video for you. Alright guys, let's get right into it. You already know the vibes. You already know what type of time I'm on. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, well damn, subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at Raider Honcho. Check out Raiderinfo.com. Make sure you hit the likes on this video. Now, let's get right into it. So, everybody knows what's going on with the Raiders, but it seems like bad news travels fast, or it seems like when things start going bad downhill, it starts to snowball. It's getting worse, it's getting worse, it's getting worse. Now, not only are the Raiders losing games, but the Raiders just look pathetic on the field, look like they're not even trying hard at times. And there's certain players that are supposedly being called out. We heard Derek Carr in the press conference talking about he wished everybody in the locker room felt the way he felt. Josh McDaniels comes out and says, I don't know what the hell Derek Carr is talking about. I understand that he doesn't want to be calling players out, especially with his first year as head coach, especially with players he didn't bring in, but he kind of threw Derek Carr under the bus by acting like he had no idea what Derek could be talking about. So now when you think about all this stuff that Josh McDaniels is dealing with, right? You're dealing with a roster you inherited. You're dealing with a quarterback that probably isn't going to be here next year. You're dealing with a team that's losing. You're dealing with a franchise that's just been in disarray. You've been called in to do so much, and you haven't been given a lot of time to do it, but there is no patience. Raider Nation has zero patience for rebuilding, especially when you told us it wasn't going to be a rebuild. So I understand that you want to give the coaching staff time to get their players. I understand all of that. But when you had a team that went to the playoffs last year, whether you think they snuck in, they barely got in, they shouldn't have got in, at the end of the day, if you take a team that won 10 games and you bring in a new regime and you bring in Davante Adams and you're telling us it's not a rebuild, well, then it's kind of hard that when you get 9 games into the season trying to tell us, oh, everybody be patient because it's a rebuild. Like, we just weren't looking at it like that, okay? And Josh McDaniels being tested in every way possible right now, with the losses, with the fan base, with the roster, with your starting quarterback coming out saying he doesn't feel everybody's giving everything they have. Davante Adams kind of shared the same sentiments when he spoke about he doesn't have enough people on his team like him, enough people in there that's doing what they're supposed to do. Everybody wants to get an opportunity, but when they get the opportunity, they're not doing much with it. And Josh McDaniels is being tested. And now I feel like what's happening now is when you got media chiming in, because nobody really knows why things are going the way they're going. When you have the media chime in, they start to create a divide within the team, and they're trying to create a divide within the organization. I don't think they're doing it intentionally, but what they're doing is they're trying to get clicks, they're trying to get coverage, they're trying to get views and all those things. So when you have that in mind, you have to understand that every little thing they says is going to be looked at under a microscope now, right? When you have a team that's not winning, every little thing somebody says is like, oh, did you see the sneakers that Josh McDaniels wore in this game? Everything has a microscope on it now, and everybody's looking at every little detail, trying to figure out what's going on behind the scenes, because this is a team that shouldn't be 2-7. This is a team that shouldn't be as bad as they are. This is a team that should have been competing for the division, and they're just not. So everybody's going to have their saying it. But what's happening right now is that when you take Derek Carr's press conference and the fact that we don't know who he's talking about, the media is starting to come out and trying to guess who he was talking about, trying to interpret what Derek Carr was saying on who he could have been talking about. And now there's reports saying, or rumors saying, that people feel like Derek Carr might have been talking about Darren Waller. And obviously we know Darren Waller was injured last year during the Thanksgiving game, didn't really come back the rest of the season until really late. This year he's played a few games, had maybe a handful of catches, big drops, and now he's on the IR. Hunter Renfro's on the IR. But this is what I mean when I say Josh McDaniels is being tested, because now if you have your starting quarterback who's at odds with one of your star players you just gave a new contract to, that's going to create some division, because you're going to have people that are on Darren Waller's side, you're going to have people that are on Derek Carr's side, you're going to have people that are on Josh McDaniels' side. But at the end of the day, Mark Davis has already said McDaniels is the guy. He's going to get his time. He's going to get the necessary amount of time to kind of execute what he needs to execute, bring in the players he needs to bring in. So inevitably, if you're not on the side of Josh McDaniels, you're not going to be on the side of the Raiders, and you're not going to be on this team, because Josh McDaniels is the guy right now. He's the judge, jury, and executioner right now. So I think that bringing up stories about Derek Carr, talking about Darren Waller is just another test for Josh McDaniels to try to find his way in the locker room. Because when you think about Josh McDaniels, he's a smart guy, but he's never been accredited with changing any cultures or actually changing a franchise. He's just been a guy that's been known to be smart. Well, he was under Belichick, and that was already a culture there. He was just a smart guy, right? You put him in Denver, there was really no culture there for him, and you saw what happened, right? So at the end of the day, Josh McDaniels is being tested as a head coach. He's going to be tested as a man. He's going to be tested as a leader to see if he can kind of bring this thing back together, because it's starting to get a little out of control when you hear reports and rumors about he's talking about this guy, talking about that guy, these players are giving up, these players are quitting. The media will say whatever the hell they've got to say to be able to have a TV show that morning, right? So I don't really know what's going on, but I do believe Josh McDaniels is going to be tested even more this season because he's going to have to prove that he's the guy for the job. And the rumors coming out that Derek Carr is dissing Darren Waller is just another test that Josh McDaniels is going to have to pass, because he's going to have to find a way to patch this locker room up to try to go out there and win a fucking ball game, all right? So get down in the comments, let me know what you think. You think Josh McDaniels is up for the test? You think he's the guy for the job? Get down in the comments, let me know what you think. If you like the video, like the video. You like the content on this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at Honcho. Until the next time, as always, Honcho out.